Hello and welcome to the Club 12 podcast with me, Dave, and Jamie. How's it going?
Back again, good.
We're back. Guess who's back? Back again. It's been a couple of weeks.
It's been a few weeks,
It has been a few weeks. We do have quite a bit to cover.
Got a lot to cover.
But actually, we do have a fair bit to cover.
This thing is probably going to last a wee bit longer, I would imagine.
Well, I'm sure the ladies will love that.
We'll find it.
You can always get in touch with us as well through the Instagram and Facebook at the Club 12 podcast. And as always, we are sponsored by King Kong Tattoo Company, Albert Square, Dundee, for all your tattoo and piercing needs. I actually think I'm going to go and book a tattoo in the next couple of weeks.
You've seen that.
Remember I had that Maradona t-shirt?
Yeah.
Like the blue, like lightning. It was just like a bold print. I'm going to get that.
It was just his face, was it?
Yeah, it's just his face. I think it was. Remember he scored. Well, you'll not remember it, but you've seen the clip. He scored the goal. I think it was in '94 World Cup, and that's when folk were like, "Oh shit, he's on drugs." I think it's that face. I'm not sure. I could be wrong. It might not be. I maybe need to have a look back. But anyway, yeah. So there we go. Right, where did we start?
Well, we've no done anything for Agent Jack Ross. Got the fucking...
God, mind of him.
I forgot about him, he didn't last too long, did he? I mean, he was meant to go in undercover. Like, remember, I done it, was it Mixu? Remember Pat Linen done it and went in and got them?
Yeah, well...
He's not really an agent, he was an Arab, but...
He's a prick.
He was a prick. Ross could have lasted a wee bit longer, I thought. But, fuck here, if you get bit 9-0, you can't really expect to keep your job, can?
I'm glad.
But fuck him. I'm glad because he turned us down and he went over there. Thought he was.
Turned us down twice.
I can.
Twice. I never rated him at all. I think I said on the first or second podcast, I didn't want him anywhere near our fucking club. There's a good reason, because we'd have took 9.
I can.
Right, simple as. Nobody wants that. So, but anyway, we'll do some Arab bashing as we progress through the show. Right, I like a wee bit of that. Just in case you've missed my famous catchphrase, fuck you and fuck your shit. Right. Sorry, I keep saying that. I've been saying it and working on it. So, right. Well, look, we've had a game since the last day, right? So, actually, we've had 2 games. No, sorry, it wasn't. It was the League Cup. It was Falkirk in the League Cup.
Fuck, that was ages ago.
Which we brushed aside. Aside. Robinson scored a fucking peach.
Ken, actually. Yeah, how good was that?
That was a quality goal.
Because I was, before it when we done the predictions, I thought it was going to be tight. I think I said 2-2, man. And we were fucking, we were brilliant. We couldn't watch it because the fire stick broke, mind. so we, well, mind you, I think we caught Robinson's goal, and then the second half it broke. Because I remember running about the living room when that went in.
I can't mind.
But nah, we were good that night.
I do remember seeing it hit the net. I was like, fucking hell, you see that?
I can.
Not seen it like that since Bobby Glennie scored against Aberdeen in 1984.
I can't
remember that.
But it's a couple of different types of... Like, his first header was good. Well, his header hit off him and went in. It wasn't really off his forehead, but... Tack that in. That was a good goal. He's scoring penalties, he's screaming and all, so here, I'm up for him.
It was one of the games where I thought it was, I said before that I thought it would be an uncomfortable 2-0 victory. So it was a shake. I didn't think we were overly brilliant, but we didn't look like we were going to get beat. So I mean, we were kind of comfortable.
Kind of needed the result left.
And then of course we got a fucking easy draw in the next round. Fucking Rangers away.
What does the draw is like? Because we get them. It's always. I've noticed it in the League Cup, especially in the last couple of years. This last 8 draws, sorry. Because then you're 1-1 off Hampden. Yeah. And it's always that game where we get fucking Celtic or Rangers. It happens every time. I was watching the draw was it with you? No, it wasn't with you. It was with Kev actually. Obviously, Kev's a shed boy. And we were saying it, we were like, you know, it's going to get Celtic or Rangers. And of course, we get fucking Rangers. And it's not even at Dens.
Okay.
See, if it's at Dens,
you fancy your chances, right?
You fancy it a wee bit more, but going to Ibrox, especially with what's happened the past week, obviously the grievance that's going on at Ibrox with the late Majesty, they're going to be... They're going to be a great week, of that. They're going to be right up for it. No, they've had a pretty bad week. We'll probably let's be honest, take a beating for them. That's the harsh reality of it.
And the worrying thing is too is, will they put their wee Diddy team and give a skeleton, or will we give them a good go? Do you know? I like to think that we will give them a good go, but you didn't want them to put out their Diddy team and they give you a scalping as well.
Come on, as long as we go there and just show a wee bit of fucking look, we're not expecting to go there.
I remember going there when I was wee in the League Cup, and then I've mentioned it on this podcast before. But we played. The Souness was the manager, and there used to be a clock at Ibrox, right, and it actually used to tick down to like the 92nd, to the 90th minute. Right, because you never really got injury time back then. You maybe got it then, the ref maybe played an extra minute, and we scored 10 seconds left on the clock to mark it 1-1. Stuart Forsyth, and then Rangers brought on Graham Souness at the start of extra time and fucking leathered it. I think it was about 5-1 or something. But the mental thing was, all the Dundee fans were leaving, and there was a decent crowd through it, and as soon as that Stuart Forsyth goal hit the back of the net, they were all started running back up the stairs. 10 minutes later they were all heading back to the bus because we were getting ruined, and I'm pretty sure Souness scored a record that night. Actually, similar to Robinson's last week. That was the type of goal he scored, right?
Souness was, see if you watch some of his YouTube clips, feel like even when he was at Liverpool, some of the goals he scored were ridiculous, man. He's kind of forgotten, I think, a wee bit in the English media about how good he actually was as a player, right? Because he's just on there fucking moaning and whinging every week. It's funny though when he's on about Pogba and
I can. What though?
He was such a good player, right?
I've said about Pogba for years. I hate Paul Pogba.
Me too. I've never thought he was. He is. He's overrated to fuck.
If you get him out wide on the wing, he could whip a bar into the box. He could probably cut in and whip in a shot. That's great. But the rest of the stuff, he's not a midfielder.
See if you get in his face, like see when Scotland played England and Stephen O'Donnell was up against Jack Grealish and he was fucking just stamping on his toes and kicking him a wee bit. See if you do that to Paul Pogba, you're fucking, he's moaning and whinging.
I bet Souness must sit there and think, I'd love to have went in that fucking tackle with you.
Oh, he'd have ruined him.
He'd have played him off the park. He would have kicked him out of the place. It'd been magnificent.
Much would you pay to see that?
I'd
not even for the game, just to see them both running at a bar. So just put the bar in the halfway line and they both run for their own goal.
Like what you do at football training under 10s, then you get somebody in the middle, Hugh Dallas. Hugh Dallas is there, right? Because he's a dick. Put the bar down on the spot and just go, right, on the whistle and the twat them. Fucking clatter.
I can't assume this is getting on a wee bit too, but he'd sprint like fuck to that halfway line to win that.
Definitely.
I think he's winning that bar all day long.
But sorry, we got distracted for the League Cup there. But Souness scored that magnificent goal in the League Cup, and that ended our run. I think that was probably the quarterfinals as well. Somewhere about then.
Look, I want to go to Ibrox a wee bit confident, but I've been a Dundee fan long enough to know that if you go to Ibrox in the Cup, you're probably going to get beat. Come on, we had a good opportunity to beat them a few years ago. Mind when, I think it was when they were in the First Division and we were in the SPL. And we had like Greg Stewart, Hemmings and Hartley was our manager, right? And we got them in the Cup then, and we filled where our allocation every year. Like I think everybody was confident we were going to go there and maybe not win, but can be competitive. And that was the day we could have beat them, and we got beat like 4-0 or something like that. Right? I think Tavernier probably scored 3 of them. But fingers crossed.
I do remember a couple of games in the 80s where we against the 80s, it's like fucking 40 years ago now, right? But I do remember, like, we beat them consistently at Ibrox for a couple of seasons, right? And I tell you what, there was a key player in that, which brings me to something else as well, right? So remember last time I said we could bring back 2 players. If you could bring back 2 players, right? So I chose at the time Speroni and then Shadzi. However, I've thought about this, man, right? Because I was kind of spur of the moment, right? The one player I'd bring back would be John Brown. Right?
Shows your deeds.
Shows your deeds. That guy, right? So I ken what folk think of him as a manager, right? Wasn't it all he did was speak about Rangers, right? Which, fair dues, right? That's how he got the Fleetwood Mac. But as a player, he was outstanding. And Rangers signed him, I think, probably on the basis that they couldn't control him. Like, he kicked Souness off the park.
I was just about to say that, because Granda told me that, because we played them at Dens, and I'm sure John Brown kicked Souness off of the park, and right after the game, Souness went, I want to sign him. And he signed him literally the next transfer window.
And I think as well, he'd failed a medical at Hearts. He had a knee or an ankle problem, and Hearts were like, nah, we'll not sign him. So Souness went to bet him, and Rangers were like, he's got a knee problem, and Souness was like, I don't give a fuck. fucking by the boy. And
yeah, you're on about John Brown had the knee problem.
John Brown,
that's right.
Sorry, and when Rangers got to the semi-finals of the European Cup or the Champions League, right, as it's now commonly known, and John Brown was outstanding and throughout that tournament. Honestly, he was
a monster,
magnificent. He was a fantastic player. He could have played anywhere across the back, anywhere across midfield, and I reckon if you stuck him up front, he'd have got you a goal as well. He absolutely would have got you a goal. He scored loads of goals for us. Like, I think I'm sure he scored a hat-trick against Rangers at Dens in a 3-2 game. He beat them 3-2.
He was a good. Well, I've only seen clips. Well, not many clips for John Brown, because there's no many clips of John Brown, to be honest with you.
No, in the Dundee tap, there's no.
No.
There's that in where he scores the bullet header at Tannadice. But no, honestly, he was.
So you take him, do you anybody else?
Right, and it was actually Bono reminded me of this guy. No, that I forgot about him, but
Bono's your mate, by the way. No actual.
Bono,
the Irish guy.
No, Bono, the Irish guy. So Bono, my mate Craig, right, and we call him Bono, right, because remember when everybody gave, if you had an iPhone, U2 gave you their album free. Right, Songs of Innocence, I think it was called. Nobody wanted it. It was shite, right? So they basically gave it to Abdi free. And every time Bono plugged his phone into this docking station, it started playing fucking U2. So I started calling him Bono. And that was about 8 years ago, and I still call him Bono now. So anyway, Bono reminded me, he heard the podcast and he says, he says, Ken, I should have picked Jim Duffy in his prime. Now, Jim Duffy was also an outstanding defender, right? And Bono reminded us as well that when we signed him for Morton, and that's the season, it's what sound pretty bad, but Morton got relegated and conceded something like 78 goals, a pure huge number of goals, right? But Jim Duffy got the player of the season, right? So all the other football players in Scotland voted him the player of the season, even though his team finished bottom and they got relegated and they scored and they conceded loads of goals.
So would it be the players' player? Because I was thinking like players' player, like your own club. Is that for all the other clubs?
That's for all the other clubs.
And that is some stat.
That was in a time as well where other Celtic and Rangers players would have been encouraged to vote for people in their own team, because you could have voted for folk in your own team. That was like, and like they were like. It was commonly known that folk did that, like say. So Jim Duffy in his prime he never really put a foot wrong. He always kind of made the tackle or the header, and
he wasn't that big, was he, Jim Duffy?
No,
he wasn't.
He lived next door to Charlie Nicholas when they were growing up. I remember that him and Charlie Nicholas were best pals, and there was something in the paper. Because he was at Celtic and then he went to Morton. I think he was obviously there at the same time as Charlie Nicholas. Right?
And then we signed him for Morton.
We signed him for Morton. But I think it was about 60,000 or something. He said it was 80,000 that we got him for. I would rethink. I would change my plan, and
I'll think mine over for next week. I'm not what I think any on the spot. What did I pick again? Caballero and Speroni, didn't I?
Well, I mean, I think what's maybe.
Come on, I still keep Speroni.
We still need the goalie. Although, in that last match that we've seen, I'm sure I've seen wee Harry Sharp, right? He come out and clobbered a couple of folk.
Was it the Falkirk game?
He just looked a bit more confident.
No, he looked pretty decent.
I mean, there's no glue anywhere, but
because the other boy because it was the pure battle with the Dundee youth keepers, because they had Callum Ferry in the other goal. Can the wee guy?
The wee tiny guy.
The wee tiny keeper. I can't. How would you just put him at right back?
That was like
in the youth team, just go to right back. I mean, that year he was no bad shot stopper, man, but you need a wee bit more height in the goal. But going back to Harry, he looked a wee bit more comfy in the sticks, did he?
He did. So I mean, that kind of brings me on to the transfer window, right? Now, I was expecting a goalkeeper. There was talking about a goalkeeper. Apparently there was some guy at Portsmouth who both us and the Shed were interested in.
He never picked either of them.
No. I think he must have got off the train station.
I've never seen a transfer window where we've went in for because Boyer's been honest about it in his interviews. He says every other week, we nearly had this guy, or they two over the line, and it never materialised for some reason. I've never seen a transfer window where we've went in for that many players and we've been told, nah mate, it's not happening. Like, maybe does that say that Boyer's, the standard, the player that we're going for, is better than what we would normally go for? Or is it they're not coming to it because we're a Scottish Championship team? You could look at it both ways. I'd like to hope Boyer's looking at decent players, because if the boys he's brought in have been good, French has been good, fucking Robinson's been good.
Granda still doesn't like French. He said something the other day.
What the fuck? I think it's his name, see, because it's just French. Granda doesn't like the French, does he?
I
think it's just a generational thing.
Do you think so?
But he's been decent. What is it? Robinson, young boy for Rangers has looked alright. He's not really done too much wrong. Williamson,
I've not seen him do much, but I've not seen him do too much wrong.
Exactly. And what else is there? There's another one. What's the other signing? We made 4.
Robinson.
That's it, him. Grayson.
I thought you were going to mention Jay Chapman. The forgotten man. Hey Jay. Whatever happened to Jay Chapman?
He's sitting in his house playing Call of Duty. With his headset.
I hope he's chatting at the manager's door saying, "Hey Gary, give me a game, man. I'm doing great."
Turns up and training with his full strip on.
Grayson, sorry.
Grayson. So he's been alright, so Ken, the boys that he's brought in have been decent, so hopefully that means that we're trying to get boys that are of a decent standard. There's still another month left, because we could get boys that are, is it out of contract?
We could get loan.
We can get loans for down south, I'm pretty sure.
We could get loan signings.
And we can get boys that are out of contract as well, obviously. So it's not the end of the world.
I think Souness is out of contract.
I would put him right in the team. Do you ken that?
I wonder what John Brown's did. He's probably still at Ibrox saying, "Shows your deeds."
He's still raging. They'll have me devastated.
Do you not think though that with the transfer window though, right? It was quiet everywhere. There was not much activity going on.
Well, in the Scottish, obviously down south it's completely different, but up here it did seem quiet. But then are we just saying that because we've not really took notice of the other team signings and we've hardly signed any cunt?
Well, I saw and watched Sky Sports News on transfer window night, and basically there was no mention of Scotland. There was tumbleweed went right across the street. Like fucking. Ken, they went to some roving reporter and he's like, "That's fuck all going on here, but Ken, I'm heading back south."
Rangers thought about signing somebody and didn't it? Ken.
It was pretty quiet.
It always like that though, man. The fucking, even like, see the amount of times they get Dundee and Dundee United mixed up. Like, come on, how fucking hard is it?
Go fuck yourself. Like.
Ken. Mixing the badges and that. It drives me mental.
So, I mean, we could have done wee bolstering the squad, seeing as we've got a big tech to come playing against a Welsh team in England in a Scottish tournament. So we've got TNS in the fucking dinghy cup. Let's get to the final and hey, good day out, right? So at least we could. So what?
So I was buzzing about this draw.
You were.
Right? I was absolutely buzzing.
So was
Abdi.
Your cousin.
Right. So he's not going anywhere actually.
No, because he's grounded. What's he done now?
Shot on the bus.
He never shot on the bus.
Might but I hear, so that draw, when it was made, Abdi was buzzing, because they're a good team. I think they're in Europe. They beat Winfield, that Irish team who seem to scalp Motherwell and every other season. They beat them. I'm pretty sure they're still in Europe.
We about to get their arse handed to them.
Well, they're no bad, is what I'm saying. So what to carry on trying to get a bus, right? So I'm sure Abdi knows this game's being played the week of the Scotland-Ireland game. So there was fucking nae buses in Scotland that would tag us. Fae Dundee down to Wales or England or whatever the fuck it is.
It's technically England, isn't
right?
it?
It's England, so it's on the Welsh border. That's how they play in the Welsh League, but it is technically England. So we can, and they didn't really want to attack 50 steaming drunk Dundonians down there spending the night and then bring them back up. I didn't really blame them either. So there was one bus, right, that we were going to go for, and the guy got back to it dead quick. He's like, mate, I'll do it, I think you fuck. Right?
Pure Burniston.
Right.
I'll do it.
He's called Faz, right? Faz for fucking, I don't know, Ken, Lancashire coaches or something, right? He's like, mate, I'll do it, right? So I'll come up, pick his up, back his down, drop his back off and come back down, right? He was doing it for a reasonable price, so he was like, sound down. So we started looking at his reviews, right? So there was this bird, right, who was pure Faz as a prick. She was like,
what was her justification?
He didn't turn up. When I phoned him, he says, you've no paid for the driver's meal. So we're not coming until you fucking buy the driver a Big Mac, basically. So mate, they had to fucking basically get the guy some scran, put him up in a hotel for the night. Now the accommodation I can understand, right, because it's like an overnight trip,
that's
right? But I'm not fucking buying him his tea, right? I'm not doing it, right?
A fortune for it, eh?
Other people on the reviews were like, nah, Faz didn't turn up, he never want to be seen. He even fucking got him some chicken selects, he still didn't turn up. So we were a wee bit hesitant, so I'd paid him bus. And then at that point, it's like, nah, here, I want my money back. I'm not trusting Faz. I'm not trusting Faz. So the majority came in and we cancelled that, but we managed to get another in. We got another in. So there's a squad that were going down, busways 6:30 in the morning, for Whiteys. There's still actually some seats left, so if you do want to go down, get in touch. There's a couple of seats left. But so 6:30, we go down there. We probably get there, I think it's a good fucking 8-9 hours on the bus.
Right.
Go to the game, out in, I think it's Wrexham is the closest fucking night out. And then the next day we're back at 11 in the morning on the bus up the road.
Fucking Blackpool's probably the closest night out.
Nah, it's Wrexham just up the road, because the tune that we're going to, I can't mind its name. I keep trying to think of it. I keep going to say Aberystwyth, and it's definitely no Aberystwyth, because that's actually in Wales. What's it called again? Anyway, it doesn't matter. No. But Wrexham's the night out, and then back up the road, so that's going to be one Sairhead the next day.
Yeah, well, I've got a biker rally. I'm playing at a biker rally that night, so I can't go. That's going to be pretty banging.
That'd be cool.
I'm really looking forward to that. So I'm going to get blurred. So it was my birthday last Friday, when we were meant to be playing Cove. And obviously I wasn't going to Cove because it was my birthday and I was playing a gig and I was going to get blurred, but sadly the Cove game was called off because the wee Queenie died. It's a wee shame. So we obviously we need to mention it, but then I want any abuse for anybody on either side praising or unpraising the Queen and what she's done.
Don't want any Rangers fans calling in, fucking emailing in. Do you ken, right, see that photo of the Queen in the Rangers dressing room?
I seen it.
So that was Graham Souness. It's the first thing he done when he got the manager's job.
Was it?
Brought it for his house, brought his hammer and his nail, put a photo of the Queen up.
Fucking put the Queen up there. And then he fucking signed Maurice Johnson.
And then he signed Maurice Johnson,
That was a bit of a fucking get it right up, yeah.
He likes doing that, does he?
What's the crack?
But so there's going to be a couple of Rangers have had a fucking bad couple of weeks, eh?
Well, they have. I did actually wonder, right? I wonder if the Queen ever did announce if she likes a particular football team. Like, what was the Queen's favourite football team? And I did actually Google it to see what was the Queen's favourite team.
He kens what a favourite football
team
is.
Right. So what it actually said was that
Rangers.
she's got a particular fondness at Arsenal.
No. Rangers.
Well, no, it does. They said Arsenal. However, it did also say that our Scottish team was Glasgow Rangers.
Well, it's not going to be Celtic, is it? Let's be honest.
Do you think there's ever a team that she looks at Kim when she's looking at the scores, right? She ever looks and goes, "Oh, fucking Alloa. I hate Alloa." There's a team that she just pure goes, "I fucking can't." I was at Alloa once. Fucking.
It's probably Celtic. And let's be honest, I don't think she had much love for the green side of Glasgow. But fuck here, there's.
I think she presented them with the Scottish Cups one year. It might have been their centenary year. When they won it in 1988, or maybe that was Margaret Thatcher. I can't mind.
Oh fuck. Both of them wouldn't have got a good reception.
I didn't think either of them would have got a good reception.
No. So they're talking about Abdi playing the national anthem before the next game, right? Now, the national anthem's Flower of Scotland, as far as I'm concerned, right?
It never used to be.
Yeah.
That changed maybe a bit.
Because we used to just sing it, ever God Save the Queen. But right, so see if they play that before every game in Scotland. Do you know think there's going to be a wee bit of an uproar?
At some places there will.
Because I'm going to be honest, I don't want to listen to that. This might be a wee bit touchy, but I'm not listening to that.
I mean, to me, that's no national anthem.
Exactly.
If they want to play Flower of Scotland, then that's fine.
Play that how you want, right?
But I want them to play the Corries version of it.
What's that?
There's an old band called the Corries.
Is that the guy who comes out of Hampden and he's like, come on!
That's him. He was into the Corries,
I thought that.
Play that version of it. So we're just deciding that she supported Rangers and she hated Celtic. Is that not very stereotypical?
Well, it is very.
I mean, I like to think the fact that
she was a jambo.
Nah, I want to think the fact that she hates United, like just cause, and again, maybe when she's out at her castle at Balmoral, and she's looking out her window and she sees the neighbours, and she sees their tackety old shed and goes, I fucking hate the shed. I'm going to send my corgis to there to piss on their shed. That's what I want to think. I'm not saying it's true, but I'd like to think that.
I'd like to think that too. Come on, right? I hate sheds. Everybody hates sheds. She must have hated the shed too.
She must have,
especially if her neighbours were wearing the fucking United top too. I hate sheds and I hate dirty Arab bastards.
Helps you say that every morning.
Philip, where's the corgis?
Do you think when she went to her bed, she was like wee Arya for Game of Thrones? She used to sit there and go,
Scotland.
Looking, and name the Abby she hated. I hope so. And as well, right? Do you think? I can't. We're going a bit off topic for football here, but see King Charles, right? Because that's what he's called now. He's no Prince Charles anymore. He's King Charles, right? The third, apparently. Do you think he'll just go, fuck it, I'm king? He's just going to go on a pure YouTube channel, sit and get blurted with some bitches in the back and going, hey, I'm fucking king.
Again, the first thing he's going to do, he's going to put on his mum's old Ranger strip and sit on that throne. That's exactly what he's like.
What vintage Rangers?
He's got Hibs away the day, put it on Sky Sports.
I fucking hope so. I hope all these stereotypes are true.
Morelos on the buck.
I hate Morelos.
Abby seems to hate Morelos. He's halfway, and I don't want to be stereotypical, but he's funny looking at him, right?
I like to call him the mule instead of the buffalo because he's just a fucking fat ass. Right? There's a guy I work with at the hospital. Looks like him. Looks like Morelos. The poor man's Morelos.
God, why get him a job?
Well,
a Rangers fan.
Probably a Rangers fan, Probably is,
Alright, mate, your name's Fredo.
Right, so speaking about it, he spoke a lot about Rangers today.
Well,
dissed them a wee bit, to be fair.
Well, the chairman did.
Gets them to the club. But they've come back, it's fine. All will be forgiven. Right, so we're dealing with a game coming up this weekend. An ex-Ranger, ex-fucking Arab, actually an ex-DT. We're playing Billy Dodds' Inverness.
Even when you say that name, you just want to...
I mean, I've made it quite clear on the podcast before what I think of Inverness. It's quite clear what I think of Billy Dodds as well. But I did notice something as well, right? So, obviously, a lot of the Dundee fans hate Billy Dodds, right? Because he never signed that, the voluntary agreement thing. he went against it, which kind of put us into administration, right? They hate him because of that. I didn't hate him because of that, right? Because I mean, if you look at it one way, he did a job and wasn't getting paid for it, right? If my work had done that to me, I fucking wouldn't have signed that either. I'd be like, fuck you, right? However, the reason I hate him is because he's a fucking fat Arab bastard. I just can't stand him. Like, seeing a picture of him running out in that United strip just gives me the fucking bulk.
See, hearing his voice on fucking open all mics as well, and then, see when they say it, right, we'll just go up to Billy Dodds, and you're like, oh fuck, and his cunty wee voice. Your sounds like he's out of breath all the time too.
It's because he's fat.
I can.
It is, it's because he's fat as fuck.
Fuck, hopefully we give them a bit of doing.
Well, I've not looked at the stats, but I didn't feel like we've beat them very much over the years.
We're better at Dens, definitely better at Dens than going up there. More comfy, I think, playing them at Dens, but you know, it'll still be a tough game because we're no oil painting, can we're not finished that.
No, we really don't.
So I think we'll do well to win that, but Robinson's fucking firing at the minute. He's here, it's got to be his tap now, rather than Boyer seems to like the two up front, which we were saying a couple of weeks ago was a fucking dying breed. You can't get two up front anymore. 4-4-2 doesn't exist, but he likes both of them. He's played both of them now for the past couple of weeks, and they're both kind of scoring goals. But Robinson's definitely the number one fucking man. Is Killian Sheridan still fucking playing for us?
Oh, I forgot about him.
What's he doing? Honestly, what a waste of a wage, right? I said that when we signed him. I didn't think he'd be fit for many games, right? He could be acting out. One wee knock and he's out for a year, right? You could fucking...
Is he injured or is he...
You could fart on him and he'd be out for 6 months. You could.
You could.
So, hopefully Rudden's back. Hopefully we sign another striker. But Rudden, two up front, I like it. I like the look of it.
But, I mean, it's fine saying signing a striker, but what's out there? Like, there is nobody out there.
Nah, I can't. But that's a good thing about Boyer though, Ken. The boys he's brought in, we've not really had a fucking Scooby about what they're like at all. So,
I mean, that's it. Maybe you're right. Maybe the fact that he's trying to sign a better calibre of player is how he's not been able to bring anybody in.
That's what I hope. Because if it's just because they're not turning up because we're in the championship, then that's a fucking worrying.
Because I mean, you're thinking as well, right? When you go into a negotiation with your player, straight away you've got a rough idea of what kind of salary they're roughly looking for, right? So you're not going to go into that without caring, right? And then when they get into the conversation and just being like, or maybe they're not getting to that stage. Is it a case of that?
Well, I'd like to think no, because I still see it as a fucking big club. I still see it as a top 6 club in Scotland. Loads of people don't, but maybe we're just biased because it's my own team, but I still see it up there, I mean, not top, but you get what I mean. It's hard getting boys in the championship, and it's not like I didn't think we've got money to spend, because I think, as we've said before, when it's came to it, Nels is fucking forked out the cash and wages. He has, you can't deny that. So I don't think that's an issue. I just hope that we do get one of these high fucking better players and it makes a difference. But we've still got a wee while, we've still got a loan period of about a month, and we can still sign a free agent.
So it's loans to the end of September.
No, the end of the world. And then it's fucking January in a couple of months after that. So if we could be there or thereabouts come January, bring in a couple of boys, that's what we're looking for.
Do you think when it comes to January we might need to indulge in a couple of early kick-offs to save some floodline money? I mean, I think there might be a few teams that actually want to do that, particularly in their league.
So like what,
Because maybe Cove.
No, but I'm thinking about the time of game.
So what they'll probably do is they'll mark it like a 1 o'clock kick-off.
Yeah, that's not bad.
So that it should.
It's in the made at like 3 in the morning. That's when the leg is cheapest, is it?
Well, but no, I think the fact is they play it when they didn't need floodlights.
Right, yeah, I suppose that's fair.
Because that's what they done when Dundee won the League Cup. Last time won the League Cup, 74, 75, 73, 74. The game was meant to kick off. The game kicked off at 1 o'clock, and it was because there was saving money on electricity. It was something about a 3-day week going on. I'm not quite that old, I didn't quite remember it. But I do ken that it kicked off at 1 o'clock because of that.
I just hope they're clever about it too, Ken, because if we've got, for example, Inverness away from home, and the market like a fucking 12 o'clock kick off or something. I mean, it's doable, but I just hope they don't take the piss with it, Ken. Abby's got to do it. Fuck, we'll probably be doing the same.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, that budget could be a player's salary for a few months. Can that extra money that you're spending on the floodlights and all the power that's going to run the stadium, because I suspect it's probably more than Abby thinks. And then if it's at least double.
People don't think about that. That is actually quite worrying. I don't want to speak about finances and shit with Dundee, because it's boring as fuck. But
no, but it's like
that is
your budget.
Ken, that is coming out of our budget.
I mean, that could be that striker that we can't get for Ken's, or a player that we can't get because we've not got enough money. There you go.
Well, I think Abdi will be in the same boat though, so I wouldn't worry too much.
Just didn't want games kicking Ken like Sunday morning.
Didn't want a 9 o'clock kick off.
10 o'clock Cardy. Oh, fuck that. Right, Ken.
8:45 break-in. Oh, you fucker.
We've had done that.
That was brutal.
We've had done that. I guess some companies didn't hear that, but which we need to mention as well, right? Where we met for Australia the other week.
Oh, yeah,
you remember
the guy that commented?
It was Outback Trucker Lambo.
Yes.
On the, was it the Instagram? He got in touch with it.
It was on the page. He just said, I think he said he enjoyed listening to that or something. But that's quality. Was it Australia?
I think it was for Australia.
Australia.
Do you think he's actually for Dundee?
I hope he's and by then again, maybe he's just Australian and likes Dundee. Nah, he must support Dundee.
He's maybe recently watched Crocodile.
Ken what he's maybe done? He's maybe like on FIFA and you just pick a random shite team and he's got with fucking promoted, well not promoted, but he's got in the Champions League and he's like, okay, that's my team.
That's it.
On Google learning Dundonian and that. That'd be good. Right. But it's quality. Good on him, man. Keep listening.
I wonder if there's people out in the world that just randomly listen to a podcast. Because I have done it before. I think it was a South American, it was a podcast in Argentina or something. It was a music podcast, and I just randomly listened to it, and it was pretty banging.
Was it in English?
It was in English, but the guy was set in Argentina, and I don't care. It was just I just remember
be cool.
That's weird.
Got people. I hope there's people fair have it. Not just Kurt and Douglas and Finty and Stobie and all.
Do you think we'll ever hear? So you mentioned this player the other week, right? Do you think we'll ever hear from Spanish John? Do you remember Spanish John?
Spanish John.
What happened to Spanish John?
So I'm pretty sure some people will remember. He signed as a left back. About 4 years ago? 5 years ago? Spanish John.
Was it Hartley who signed him?
It might be Hartley. It was Hartley or was it McCann?
Might be McCann actually, yeah.
But Spanish John, left back, right? I can't mind his last name. It was John something. And he was fucking the best player I've ever seen in my life. So actually, I'd take a Caballero out, throw Spanish John in.
Spanish John.
Nah, wouldn't it? But what the fuck happened to him? He played like 3 or 4 games for a while and then just fucking vanished. Jumped on the train, didn't come home. Didn't mean that. But he was a great player. He was technically better than Abdi else by a mile. He just, see when the ball went on, I didn't care, it was like, see when you watch like English Premier League and they've just got that composure, they've just got that calmness, it doesn't matter what you do or how much pressure you run it.
Just getting it past you.
They came what they're doing before. He was a great player. I wish we'd have signed him.
I mean, he's maybe a free agent. Maybe Gary Boyer's looking at Spanish John right now.
Oh, I hope he is.
See if he plays in the goal.
Yeah, he'd probably be no bad in goal. Getting like that sweeper keeper who comes out and plays the passes and that.
Sweeper keeper.
But I don't really want any of them at Dens because I've got.
We'll get lobbed. We'll get lobbed. Right, another wee thing we need to mention as well is another recent passing, sadly. Dave Smith used to be Dundee manager. Now, I don't think you remember him.
Nah, I don't know.
He used to get called Coco the Clown.
That's no very.
No, it's not. However, I do remember that he was. Remember that Tommy Coyne goal you mentioned last time?
Yep.
Where it hit off his knee. He was the manager for us then.
Alright, was it 88?
Yeah, something like that. So I read a wee bit about him on the BBC, right? Just because, well.
So did he play for our manager? Yeah.
No, he never played for it, but he was actually for Dundee. So I'm just looking at it now. It mentioned on there that he managed his hometown club of Dundee, and I didn't realise that was his hometown club.
Quality.
But I think for most Dundee fans, they'll probably remember him for clapping United off the park in a derby match after they pumped it.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Here straight away.
He got the Fleetwood. Got the Fleetwood at the end.
Straight away, I'm kind of calling for his head out.
Yeah.
You can't do that. I don't care how good they were. You can't do that.
So he played for Burnley, Brighton, and Bristol City, and then he managed Mansfield Town, Southend, and Plymouth Argyle. Giants English football, obviously. I mean that's a good pedigree of clubs there.
But being sarcastic.
A wee bit, yeah.
That's what I say. They're shite.
I mean, if you had Colchester on there, fucking different story. You get my feelings with Colchester. But yeah, so he passed away the other day. So, well, we'll probably hear minutes applause for him, right? But I suspect we're probably going to need to do that for the Queen.
Is that not quite ironic if we gave him a minute's applause, considering he lost his job applauding you?
It probably is, yeah.
I'll still clap him, I will.
But, right, so I didn't want to be a fucking killjoy, right, but there seems to be a minute's applause every week now, right? And do you think I mean, I get that there are for good causes and good reasons and that, ex-players, ex-managers, local fans who have supported the club through thick and thin, but it seems to be at every club every week at some point, and some minute in the match, folk are standing up and clapping something.
No, I can. It does seem to be every week, but to be fair, loads of people have been kind of down recently, so like it's kind of like Pat Winnie, for example. Obviously, we would do that for him. The boy that was our manager that we're on about now, we would do that for him. But if you do it every week, which I said novelty wears away. That's quite a harsh way to put it. But you what I mean?
It'll lose its feeling and meaning.
Exactly. Like you see when all the fucking Premier League players are going down on one knee and all like that. After like a couple of weeks, Abdi was kind of like, "Come on, fuck me!" So it's, but nah, I'll still be clapping people. And,
I mean, I'm not saying that you shouldn't. I'm just saying it seems to happen every week. I mean, when I was younger, they did it. It was a minute's silence every now and again.
Yeah.
And it was very rarely silent. There was always some kind of kicking off. Because, well, that's what happens when you keep Scottish fans fucking boos, is it?
Especially, we always
put them in an enclosed space.
Kind of like we've always got the old firm on, like a fucking. See, like, I can't think of an example today. Like, see, like, and again, a remembrance of the World War or something like that. And you always get the old firm, and it's always Celtic or something, and they're always just boo fucking all the time, or sing songs like through it and all, and fucking dreamy metal.
Well, hopefully we could put Rangers out the cup and then put Celtic out the cup in the next round,
and then get beat in the final for fucking St Mirren.
Didn't say that. It annoys me that in my lifetime St Mirren have won 2 cups. It actually really pisses me off. All these shitey diddy teams, and they've fucking won 2.
Kind of a few like I'd say the average teams of the SPL, kind of like your Hibses, your Motherwells, and all the rest of it. They have been winning cups lately. Hearts winning nearly every fucking 5-6 year. Hibs have been doing well lately. As you said, St Mirren, fucking St Johnstone.
I mean,
how did they win 2 cups?
Teams do, it's just fucking. And fuck's their shot. This
is what I'm saying. We can't get it because every time we do well in the cup, we get fucking Celtic or Rangers in the quarter final or the it bugs the shit out of me. And if we avoided them, we'd get them in the semis. See, when you notice, like, I remember it was last year, I think it was, we went out, and if we'd have won, if we'd have beat whoever it was, which was a hard game, we would have got Celtic away. Like, you think about it like that and you're like, thank fuck we never won, because that's just, how do you win? It's not fair.
I get a feeling that if we had Celtic home or away, we'd probably tap 10. Getting.
Wouldn't tap 9 though.
Nah. We'd round it up. 8. We'd round it up. We're classy like that, eh? Classy like that. We're going to need to round this up as well. It's been a good wee podcast considering we've had no very much to fucking talk about.
No.
So thanks to our sponsors at King Kong Tattoo Company, Albert Square, Dundee, for all your tattoo and piercing needs. And some other news just before we go. Joe Hart lies to the footballing world by saying going up to Ross County gives me as much fire as facing Real Madrid.
Bullshit.
Absolute fucking pish. XD Mark Fotherham is in talks to take over at Bundesliga top flight club Bochum. Lee Griffiths has avoided making any headlines this week. Michael Stewart is still a prick, and Dundee United are still shite. We've been the Club 12 podcast. We'll see you soon. Cheers, goodbye.